The Malay Archipelago in Malay or Indonesian is referred to as Kepulauan Melayu, and in Tagalog is referred to as Kapuluang Malay, is the archipelago between mainland Indochina and Australia. The Malay world, Nusantara, East Indies, Indo-Australian Archipelago, Spices Archipelago and other titles have all been used to refer to it over the years. The name was derived from a Malay race concept developed in 19th century Europe and later based on the distribution of Austronesian languages. The Malay archipelago has nearly 25,000 islands and islets that make up this archipelago, which is located between the Indian and Pacific Oceans, are the fourth most islands in the world and the largest in terms of area. It consists of Singapore, East Timor, Indonesia, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea and Brunei. The phrase is generally used to refer to maritime Southeast Asia. The Malay archipelago does include islands inhabited by the Melanesians such as the Maluku places and New Guinea, but it does not include all islands where the Malay race is present, such as Madagascar and Taiwan. From the late 16th century until the duration of European colonial rule, the archipelago was referred to as the East Indies.
Theory arrival of Islam through India. This theory was obtained by Snok-Horganji. He expressed a strong argument that is, the early tombstones found in the Malay realm were imported from Cambayat, Gujarat, India. Important roles played by Gujarati traders in the Malay archipelago and the impact of the spread of Islam. The tradition of Malay literature is similar to the Islamic tradition in India. In addition, Marco Polo's notes when he stopped in Sumatra in the 1292 century, he saw that the people of Perak had converted to Islam while the people of Samudra were still not religious. This theory has several weaknesses and even has a strong argument to state that the interaction of Malay nature with the Arab Peninsula has already happened. Tombstones found in the Malay archipelago resembling or brought from India as evidence of Islam brought from India is not accurate. This is because it is one of the merchandise that may be traded by Indian traders. It is not accurate to say that only Indian traders trade in the Malay archipelago, so they have to wait for them to convert to Islam. The tradition of Islamic literature, similar to the Indian Islamic tradition, is also not exactly subject to the late development of tradition. There are also disagreements amongst historians about the region, namely Gujarati, Bengal, South India, and Malabar. First, Gujarati. G.P. marked the similarity of two tombstones in the Malay archipelago, namely the tombstones in Pasai from 14th-28th century and the tombstones of Maulana Malik Ibrahim in Gresik from 14th-19th century, with the tombstone of Umar ibn Ahmad Khazarumi in Gujarat. However, this theory is also weak, among which the date of the Islamization of Pasai is earlier than the date recorded on the found tombstones. Second, Bengal. S.Q. Fatimi hypothesizes the study of Tom Payer in his book Summa Oriental, which according to Malik al-Sahih was the first Islamic sultan in Pasai and was a merchant from Bengal. Third, South India. Van Ronkel, by popular reason, state that the culture of the Islamic community in the Malay archipelago, such as mystical features, Roman literature, and so on, as found in the Indonesia, comes from southern India. Fourth, Malabar. Thomas Arnold is based on the similarities between the Shafi'i sect between the Muslim community of Malabar and the community in Indonesia.
Theory of arrival of Islam through China and Champa. This theory is based on Chinese Muslim reports that Arab Muslims had come to China during the reign of Emperor Tai Seng of the Pang dynasty. Islam has reached mainland China since the time of Caliph Osman bin Affan. He sent Rasulullah SAW uncle named Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas there to spread Islam in the vast country of China. He was the one who founded a mosque in Canton named Wan Shinzi, Mosque of the Prophet Memory. In the year 878 AD, a major rebellion broke out in Canton linked to dissatisfaction with the economic progress achieved by Muslims in China. As a result, as many as 100,000 foreigners were killed and most of them were Arabs. This situation has encouraged Arab Muslims who are in Canton to seek refuge in the Archipelago while also introducing Islam. During the reign of the Umayyads, Caliph Al-Walid sent his army to the border of China. The commander of the army went to the king of China and consulted with him. A close relationship between Islam and China was established when Caliph Abu Ja'far from the Bani Abbasid kingdom sent 10,000 Muslim soldiers based in Turkestan to help Emperor Hasnan Sung defeat the rebellion against him. As a result, the Chinese government provides various facilities and assistance to Muslims there. At one time, there was chaos in the Yunnan area. Then, many Muslims migrated to Southeast Asia. Among them, there are those who live in Champa, Cambodia, and there are also those who live in the east coast state of Malaya. For that reason, some of the old mosque architecture in Kelantan and Demak, Indonesia, have Chinese architecture. Likewise, with the Champa district, which can be proven the existence of Islam through tombstones written in Kufi script, dated 1039 AD and monuments dated 1025 AD and 1039 AD. On the monument, there are notes related to Islamic laws. The discovery of inscribed stones in Kuala Berang, Terengganu can also strengthen the theory that Islam was brought from China and Champa.
Theory that Islam was brought from the Arabs. The theory of the arrival of Islam from Arabia is supported by the most historians, especially local historians. Clear evidence of pilgrimage during the Umayyad and Abbasid periods before 1883 AD. The opinion that Islam was brought from the Arabs has been defended by a local scholar, namely Professor Dr. Syed Muhammad Naqib Al-Attas, and also supported by Professor Dr. Hamka. There is some evidence that Islam was brought by the Arabs in the archipelago. First, the influence of West Asia in the Jawi script, which uses the same letters as the Arabic. There are only a few additions of letters, namely Nya, Ya, Va, Ga, Pa, and Nga letters, which is partly from Persian influence, and local letters are modified from Arabic letters to meet local needs. Next, the way of reciting the Al-Quran in the archipelago is similar to the way of reading in West Asia or the Middle East. It is not the same for Muslims in India or China. Next, the evidence of historical records clearly states that the Islamization of king in the Malay world was done by preachers from the Middle East. For example, Maharaja Darbar II, who ruled Kedah in 1136 AD, embraced Islam from Sheikh Abdullah bin Sheikh Ahmad from Yemen by using the new name of Sultan Muzaffar Shah, and the state of Kedah was called Darul Aman. Paramiswara 1414 AD embraced Islam from Sheikh Abdul Aziz from Jeddah and changed his name to Sultan Muhammad Shah. Another proof is the Arab influence in Malay words such as kitab, surat, ilmu, and others. The influence is also seen in the names of the Malays with Arabic elements, such as the use of bin and binti. The influence is also found in traditional religious studies that show elements of studies in the Middle East, such as the elaboration of beliefs, school of thought, and Sufism. The merchants trade in Malay world through Yemeni ports. Hadramaut port became a stopover for traders from all over the world, including Malay traders. Among the merchandise of Malay traders are spices and campur. Malay also received the influence of Arabic vocabulary and grammar. For example, the word fakir, syukur, sahabat, and etc. come from Arabic vocabulary. The basis of this agreement is more inclined to elements of rationalism rather than text or historical evidence. Khalifah Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan also preached Islam on the kingdom of Sriwijaya, known as King Sridavarman, had embraced Islam. It has been named as Sribuza Islam. In the year 800 AD, a fleet of Islamic preaching from the time of Caliph Mahmud, led by the Caliphs Nakoda and more than 100 Muslims, arrived in the archipelago. Their arrival is indirectly the answer to the theory of the arrival of Islam in the archipelago from the Arabs.
The influence of art towards Malay archipelago. In art, the influence of Islamic art in Malay society can be seen on tombstone, tombs, mosques, and calligraphy. Tombstones are the earliest works of Islamic art that entered the Malay world. For example, Maulana Malik Ibrahim tombstones is in the shape of an upside-down shaped heart that depicts Persian influence. The writings of Persian poetry or the decorative pattern of the leaves also match the Persian style. According language and literature, in the early stage, the mosque that was built still had Hindu influence in terms of its shapes and decoration. This can be seen from coverings such as lotus flowers, leaves, coral hills, landscapes, and geometrical lines. However, the mosque has a certain meaning for the Muslim community, such as the mihrab. The pulpit is filled with Islamic calligraphy art that is quoted from verses of the Quran. Its construction of art and culture values. Apart from the construction of Malay identity, Islamic civilization has greatly influenced in the aspect of art. Malay art such as song art, dance art, sculpture art, architecture, decorative art, and even drama art are heavily influenced by the values of Islamic art. For example, the architecture of mosques in Malay civilization has been influenced by visual art and Islamic design. A combination of local and foreign art become a symbol of the strength of Malay architecture. Among the values of visible art that were introduced and highlighted as image to Islamic architecture in the Malay world is clearly displayed on the multi-story dome. Likewise, other spaces such as the shape of the mihrab and materials to build the mosque. For decoration, the Islamic art heritage can be seen and translated in various forms of Malay art, such as weaving, carving, and geometric items. The Malay community sees nature as a source of inspiration in producing the beauty of the paintings by applying flowers, leaves, and all elements of plants. In addition to motifs have also become an object of appreciation in the work of the Malays. The influences of architecture from the East Coast. Evolution of architecture style of the East Coast must have derived from several influences brought about by migration and trade. Features include the steep, tiled roof with curved gable ends, rhomboid-shaped terracotta roof tiles of Thai origin Singora tiles, walls made of timber panels which are slotted in groove frames, found in both Thai and Cambodian construction techniques.
In conclusion, there are several theories of how Islam was spread in the Malay world or the Malay archipelago. Most theories show that Islam was spread mostly through trading and inscribed stones, as well as through writings and scripts that were spread from all over the world, including India, China, and Arabia. Overall, we can see that Islam is developing in various aspects, largely in economic, social, and educational aspects. After the spread of Islam, various effects and impacts mainly on the culture and way of life of the people during the time changed according to the principles and beliefs of the religion, especially in the aspects of art and architecture. Therefore, the spread of Islam in the Malay archipelago is one of the most important events in history because it has greatly influenced art and architecture until this day.